Are you DDWI? No, but that's double D Willie. That's double
I'm
D Willie.
actually beer. Give
Beer
me
beer
beer.
beer McGee.
Beer Gilly. So what's up, hero? What's going on?
um, I forgot we were running a radio show.
Oh yeah, true.
What's up, everybody? My name's Hero the MC. I represent a dope collective called Bars Over Bars. Basically, we throw shows completely free for the artists. That's the way that it fucking should be. Blah 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 blah. This is me and my main man DDwili. If you guys don't know, DDwili runs the ship over on the West Coast in Portland, Oregon, which has a fucking fantastic hip hop scene. I went over there.
Yeah.
I went over there a year and a half ago, and it was an experience. I will say that it was very cool. It was the people over there are fucking dope. And
There are so many people that I talk about you all the time when I'm hosting the shows because I am the curator, creator, host, and promoter of Bars Over Bars PDX, and I always shout you out. I've been doing the whole thing of like Hero the MC on the East Coast has thrown like 350 shows, no big fucking deal. No big
Yeah.
deal. And so there's a bunch of people out here that are like, yo, when Hero's gonna visit? I want to meet him.
When's Hero gonna come back? I actually yeah, this year has been full of ups and downs, which is partly the reason why I didn't get to make it out this year. But
Yeah.
I do want to come down next year, help my man D Willie do some shows, meet some more dope people, push
Mm.
push the message of free shows for the artists forward, and we just
Yep.
keep it going.
Yep.
Um, I'm trying to do two things at once, and I really shouldn't because I'm not good at it.
Yeah, I was
Um,
gonna say, we are pretty close to Christmas, the holiday and the New Year. I
yes, happy
figured we could,
Hanukkah.
yeah, happy Hanukkah. That just
Happy Han-
happened. What's your favorite Hanukkah song?
um, Dude, fuck off. I don't know any Hanukkah songs.
Dreidel, I made
Dreidel,
you
made
out
it
of
out of
clay.
clay. My mom, okay, so my cat comes from a Jewish household, so I always tell people my cat's Jewish.
Yeah.
I assume he is, but my mom's like, he's not Jewish anymore. He really likes the Christmas tree, and I'm like, Renee, he's a fucking cat. Of course, he
Yeah,
fucking likes the
cats love
Christmas tree.
trees.
Cats loves the Christmas tree. He
Mhm.
loves it.
Yeah.
We got some music playing in the background. Shout out to cozy December Christmas jazz music.
Yeah, because it's almost Christmas, and we
'Cause
should
it's
really feel that
almost
spirit.
Christmas.
We look like we deliver presents to all the little boys and girls across the East and West Coast.
We deliver Dude, I was watching.
We deliver bars.
Me and Maddie watched the Santa Claus movie with Tim Allen, and the logic of that fucking. I could talk about the logic of that universe.
So hold
for a
on,
while.
isn't it kind of like Santa Highlander, where like you have to kill Santa to become Santa?
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. He commits a Santa manslaughter and then just becomes him. And the elves like never gave a shit about last Santa. So either like
Yeah.
that Santa was like really mean, or this shit happens like every year because
Yeah,
they
they're
didn't
just
fucking,
like used to it.
they're just used to it. And then they gave Tim Allen Santa like the GPS and the teleporter and the magic sack and like all the cool shit as soon as the other Santa died. So it's like they kind of wanted him to die, probably.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure Santa eventually wants to stop being Santa, and the only way he can stop being Santa is like, please kill me.
Please kill me.
Please.
Kill me, please. What's up,
I'm
Dying
not
Star?
feeling so jolly anymore.
If you have any questions, Dying Star, we are taking Q&A for today's show. This is a sort of live episode of Pods Over Pods. Dying Star is a longtime supporter of the team. He's
Oh, we know
dope.
Dying Star.
We love Dying Star.
Yeah.
Shout out Double D Willie. Fuck Tim Allen. Fuck Fred Claus. Dude, I remember seeing Fred Claus in theaters when they had those. When they had them.
Is that like, you're talking about Fred, like the guy who pretended to be like the kid, right?
No, Fred Claus.
Like, hi, it's Fred.
It was the second Vince Vaughn Christmas movie
Oh, got it. Okay.
where he was Santa's brother and he was mad that Santa got all the credit and shit.
Oh, so he wanted to like, one up Santa.
Yeah. Fuck Santa. Oh my. Are you gonna tell your kids that Santa's real or fake?
Well, I don't plan on having kids, but if I ever adopt kids,
You gotta break it to him, bro. You can't lie to him.
At some point, you have to be like, "Hey, sorry, but this was all a lie. Santa does not exist.
Santa's
We
whack.
are Santa. Everybody's Santa.
We are Santa.
No, that's
we
weird.
are.
Like I've thought about that too. Like you don't want to save the best gifts for Santa to give to your kids because, like, I don't know, some kids don't get Santa. You know. So you gotta make sure the parents always one up Santa when you put him under the tree.
Santa's whack. Santa's whack. All my homies hate Santa. He's whack.
Santa is no longer my friend.
Santa is no longer my friend.
Yeah. What's been up? We haven't chatted in a while.
No, it's been so long. Ever since
DDwili's
DDwili's computer exploded like a nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've had a face-to-face live stream chat with the homie DDwili.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, he runs Bars Over Bars PDX. He's a super awesome guy. If anyone wants to fly out there and do some shows, he will help facilitate it.
It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to do. I just show up and people just love and applaud when I walk in the room, and then they're just like, "We'll give you shows. We'll give you shows to host.
We'll give you shows, okay?" That's how. What we do I do it a lot. You do it a lot too. 25 shows in a year is a lot, and this year, including your shows, including the shows that I haven't been at. This year we have done 253 shows.
So literally, almost over 60% of the shows is like what you've done in this year alone.
Yes, sir.
Represent.
I've done a lot of fucking shows. And the first year we did Bars Over Bars, like it was struggling to find.
How many shows did you do in that first year?
First year we did 25.
Okay, all right. I matched that. Thank you.
You matched it. Now you got to do.
Now I have to do like 100 and something.
The second year we did 98.
98 shows. So I have to do 98 shows in 2023.
Yes.
Okay.
This year, I assume at some point you want to talk about like what this year's kind of been like.
Yeah. I mean, so like when you. Let's go back a little bit. Let's learn a little bit of history. So I met you.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much like I think during like the second or third show you threw for Bars in Portsmouth.
It was the third show.
It was like March 2020 or something.
Yeah, it was in Portsmouth. Like I barely knew what the fuck we were doing. I just kind of wanted to throw shows. And a lot of promoters told me that I shouldn't do that because they do that. And a lot of it's very hard to talk about this hip hop scene without me sounding negative or trying to throw shade. But the reality is,
I can do it for you if you want.
Reality
I don't live there anymore.
The reality is that a lot of people, especially ones that throw shows out here. Not everybody, because I do work with a lot of people out here, and they're really good.
For sure, and that's a big part of Bars as well, is the community and
collaboration. That's how we eat. That's how we survive. That's how we get a new audience. I was told very early on, and I was cut off, and I was blackballed just because I wanted to do something that someone else did, and it's whack. But
I'll tell you real quick too. Even when I used to live on the East Coast, and I had been doing music since like 2008. And I owe a lot to the East Coast scene for developing my performing skills, because I think comparable to the West Coast, which I feel like is a little bit more lax on like the professionalism when it comes into performing, like. I don't do backing vocals when I perform, and that's specifically because I grew up performing in the East Coast scene. And that might be a little toxic, but I kind of owe it to that for taking performing live seriously. Like, you're an MC, I'm an MC, and that's what we do, just the beat and us. And so, like, the East Coast is like that. However, it does tend to lean more towards, like, a sort of, like, this is real hip-hop, gatekeepy kind of style occasionally, in which if you're not doing stuff the way that everybody else is doing it, you kind of get a little blacklisted. Like, imagine me like coming out with like the funk or something and trying to perform it at different places. People are like, that's so way out there, you know?
Yeah.
But you know, the best thing about different scenes is that there's different traits in which you can grow, or you know, take the critique or whatever that you see from the scene and kind of grow from it. And obviously you've done that without a doubt. You've thrown more shows than like some people that have been doing it for like 10 years.
Yeah, I've done yeah, so including yours, Bars Over Bars as a company has done by the end of the year, which is our 3-year anniversary, the New Year's Eve event, it would have been 361 shows, which is a fucking lot. There are definitely a few that some don't go as well as others. The biggest thing I've learned this year is just that sometimes no show is better than a bad show. And by that meaning, like, if the situation with the venue isn't that good, or some of the artists you want to get don't go, or like just things that would hinder the event, like if I don't know anybody in that area, etc. There's a lot of things, but sometimes no show is better than a bad show.
Yeah, and the thing is too is that I feel like, in my personal opinion, is that when I've dealt with promoters as an artist, like, you know, being a budding artist much younger than I am now, and even out here too, a lot of promoters think that a good show means, oh, you're very financially successful and there's a bunch of people that went, and oh man, it was loud and crazy inside. I don't agree with that definition. I think a good show is when everybody feels comfortable hanging out with everybody, everybody's showing support to everybody, and it doesn't matter the amount of people that are at the show. All that really matters is showing, like, as promoters, you and I are promoters as well as hosts, is that I think one thing that gravitates people towards bars is that we show we actually care about the artists. You know, when I introduce people out here, I typically like do a little blurb intro sort of thing where I talk about their latest projects that are coming out, what I enjoy about them, and why I wanted them to perform, so that way they could showcase what I love to see from them. And I feel like sometimes a lot of promoters are like, all right, time to sell 30 tickets at $15 a piece for a 10-minute time slot. But if you sell 35, you can have 2 pieces of merch. And I'm like, that's bullshit. Like, you should never charge the artists to perform, because they're the ones that are bringing the art.
Yeah, I do. Pay to play, whack. I honestly recommend that everyone try every single form of promoting at least once, even if you get, like, just try it, because there's different promoters that have different audiences, and some people do things differently, and that's okay. There are promoters that do charge you tickets, that if you sell half of them you break even, but the slot comes with like photos and you can leave merch and it's got video. So there are better situations. I definitely do not recommend paying to perform if there's no tickets. If there's no way you can at least break even, I would just not do it. And there are situations where you are paying to essentially book a big headliner. The opener pool is basically paying the headliner to come. And like, the thing about headliners, whether they're old heads or new heads, any genre of music, is that most big industry acts don't give a single fuck about anything that's going on. They're just there to get paid. And that's a shame. Yeah. I've opened for people I don't even remember because they weren't even there, you know?
Yeah.
And
I feel like that's one thing like that, like promoters sometimes use to entice artists into selling tickets. Like, hey, if you do this,
we got we got Young Cheddar and Lil Lollipop.
Yeah, Young Cheddar and Little Lollipop are gonna perform, and if you sell a lot of tickets, man, your friends are gonna see you perform in front of them, and then those guys won't even like show up and listen to the music at all. I remember when me and JB were opening for D12 or something, and you know, those guys probably weren't even checking it out. I think the only time in which I opened for somebody when I was younger was Chris Webby, and at least he was there like drinking and like
Yeah.
chilling, you
Yeah.
know. But for the most part, like, people have this dream of like, oh, I'm gonna go open up for Lil Wayne, but Lil Wayne probably isn't gonna listen to your music. He's probably getting high in the back until you're done,
Yeah.
and then he's gonna go and make his check by spitting Amelie, Amelie.
Look, if the show starts at 8 and Lil Wayne's supposed to perform at 12, you're lucky if he's even there by 12. And
Yeah.
that's no diss to him. I mean, it's probably not in his contract to show up at a certain time.
Yeah.
It's just the way the industry goes. And to be honest, the labels fucking kill these artists so much that the only real way that they make money is through merch and shows.
Yeah, merch and shows.
Because the
And
label,
so it's like, if they have to do just a bunch of tours and stuff, and they're probably exhausted from doing so, it's like they're not gonna hang out for an entire show and talk to a bunch of people that they're probably never gonna see again.
yeah, it's there's a lot of opinions on it. My opinion is that if you can't at least break even, I would not pay to perform. With
Yeah.
that being said, we at Bars Over Bars, we offer a lot. I offer live stream, photo, video, the experience as a whole. I try to make sure that, like, even if there isn't a fucking soul in the building, it's you at least get some content afterwards. Which
Yeah, and I think that's important.
which has worth in itself. I mean, the cheapest photographer I could get to come out to my show that I know and cover the whole event is like $200. So for me to do that for you for free is, I think has value whether you see it or not.
Yeah, because you can repurpose those photos. You can use those for promote for your own stuff. If somebody wants to throw your face on a flyer, they can do that. Let's say you join a podcast as an episode or something, and they need something for material to promote it. You can use those pictures that Hero took.
Yeah, and there isn't like an artist rule book, which isn't anyone's fault. With the independent wave, anyone can really do whatever you want. You can go to Walmart and buy all you need to do to record with under a couple $100 and make a song. Is it gonna be good? Maybe. I don't know. It's all fucking whatever. But with the independent wave, there's really no rule book, so people don't know what to do. I booked over 600 acts throughout the last 3 years of throwing shows, and I mean maybe 20 of them have had merch.
I think. Hold on, I have this little thing here. This is my my year stats right here.
Oh, the year stats?
The year stats. So technically I threw 26 shows because I did do a freestyling event, but I had 83 different artists this year, which was sweet.
That's awesome. I do that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Different artists. Like, we had some repeat artists come on and stuff, but
I think our first 50 shows, I don't even think we had more than 50 artists, which I think, as a company still starting, I mean, I wish it was more diverse. But as we grew and more people heard of us, we were able to get into different markets.
And you're able to kind of hit that diversity too when you branch into places other than one city or one state. Stuff too as well. Like, you have Maine crowd, New Hampshire crowd, Massachusetts crowd, Rhode Island crowd. I know Connecticut you're slowly kind of getting into too, which is nice.
Connecticut's cool. I mean, in a single week, I could hit 4 states, which is awesome.
You know that random thought. Me and Arev want to. My homegirl A Revolution, my best friend out here. She hosts this thing called Cypher Saturdays, which is an off the top cipher that happens at a professional studio where she curates producers to play beats for like 3 hours, and MCs come from all over Pacific Northwest to spit freestyles, and it's super cool. But she wants to plan a tour with me on the East Coast, and I am expecting you to help me.
Oh, dude, I will be your biggest resource ever.
Yeah.
I do, like, I have a lot of residencies all over the place, so like the sooner you let me know dates, the better.
Yeah, it'll probably be maybe like early 2023 because Raina and I are getting married next year in September.
We're getting married. You said early 2023?
Yeah, I'd say that would probably be like maybe a time to start planning for like an East Coast tour. Like, I know that Arev wants to kind of get down like closer to Florida, and I know you have connects down there as well. But obviously, New England is going to be like a good meaty chunk of that section that we want to get. And of course, I want to hit everything and see you guys. And I really hope that you come and visit here next year as well, because there are definitely a lot of people like we get a lot of praise like. For what we do out here, like people that tune into me also tune into you, and they definitely want to meet you.
Yeah, I'm kind of like a fucking enigma, because I feel like this is good and bad. I feel like I don't fucking exist outside of hip hop shows, which is a good and a bad thing, because I love throwing shows. I definitely feel like I wanted 3 EPs out this year. And the third one was supposed to be out in July, and I got it out last week.
Yep.
And I got so focused on the shows because of fucking reasons. You know that my fucking you know this year's been fucking crazy. People have been fucking batshit crazy. People want to murder me. It's fucking nonsense.
You've literally had people cyberbully you, like grown-ass adults, like 40-year-old men.
40-year-old people who think
40-year-old men messaging my friends in Portland non-contextual messages saying like, "Don't believe what Hero says," and then
what do I say?
People reaching out to me being like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. The best way to explain it is that I just kind of exist, and some people don't like that, and that's okay.
Well, you know, when you're not performing shows, you're stealing all the money and hoarding it all for yourself, obviously.
The idea that I am running away with a huge bag of money is crazy. Like no one's ever lost more money throwing shows than I have, and I can fucking back that
People
up.
don't understand that. I've had some people think that like I have a shitload of money or something. I'm like, dude, I work 12.5-hour shifts, and sometimes I go directly to the Big Legrowski to host the show, and then I wake up at 6 a.m. the next morning to work a 12.5-hour shift. Like, rich people don't do this.
Yeah.
Kind of backtracking a little bit. So I met you in March of 2020. Yeah, we lost a little bit of sight
because you just let me talk. You just let me go, and I go, and I don't
I missed
stop.
you. I missed your voice.
I missed you too.
I missed you. I wanted to hear you rant.
We met. It was a great show. Aaron Brown finished it off. He killed it.
Killed it.
Sound was trash, but what do you expect? I mean, it's not really.
It was all right. There are videos from that night, like up on YouTube somewhere. There's somebody who captured me singing "Heart of Gold" or something. But yeah, I met you there, and then we didn't really communicate after that until after I moved out here, like July of that year. And I saw that you were doing live streams, and I hit you up, asked if I could be a guest.
Yeah,
right?
and then from there, like you were part of the team, and then you wanted me to come out to Oregon. We did some shows for the Hip Hop Week out there.
Yep.
And the rest is fucking hip hop history.
Yeah.
You're fucking dope. Okay. You're fucking.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
DDwili's awesome. He's wearing his PlayStation. Okay. So these last 3 weeks of December, we only have 6 events, and 2 of them are yours. And
really?
And I'm only going to one of them. So, like last night we had Portland, Maine. Next Friday we have Providence, Rhode Island. J-Rem's running that one by himself. And then Saturday we have the 3-year anniversary at the Jungle.
Who's part of that?
Zen Studios, Revo, Mass Made Media. I put Bars Over Bars there on the flyer in case anybody like TJ or Kava or anybody that like doesn't fit into like a group sort of can perform. Plotmore, which is Isaac Groove's team, and then Starfish Death Squad, which is he's the producer that does a lot of production for Willie D. He's got a bunch of people that he wants to put on that I've booked a bunch. So it's just kind of a celebration of the people I've worked with the most this year. And like Zen Studios is a studio in Woburn, mostly made of Malden. It's like 6 Malden artists, and they're all fucking fantastic. And I booked them a bunch separately this year. We've thrown shows together this year. Revo is a team of 4 guys from Everett and Lynn. and they're fucking awesome. I book them separately, book them together. Mass Made Media is Sean Mike, CXP, Easty. They're awesome guys. Plotmore is Groovy and his boys. Starfish Death Squad is Lou and his boys, and then the Bars Over Bars team. Me, Demons, whatever, whoever wants to rock.
Nice.
That one's gonna be a fucking banger. I really don't fucking know what to do with myself because I'm not throwing shows. I've just been playing Elden Ring all day, and I fucking love it. I love it.
We should play together this weekend.
We should. I've killed a lot of shit. I just fucked up a reindeer. It was really good.
Oh, like the underground reindeer?
The underground reindeer, yeah.
Isn't that like one of the coolest like looking arenas? I love that boss.
That was pretty cool. I don't feel like I'm good at it. I just feel like Have
you been playing it mostly solo? Like, have you summoned any help?
No, I haven't.
Really? It's fun. Sometimes summoning random online people can be really entertaining.
I know. Me and Roger we cornered Margit and we fucked him up. We got him in the corner. We fucked him up, and then Godric was easy once I summoned that lady warrior to help.
True.
And then I killed the Leonide guy in the south, and then I got the wolf in the whatever. I can't kill Lynara, whatever, the witch or whatever at the top of the academy. Yeah. I haven't got her yet. I can beat the first phase easy.
Are you there?
Yeah.
She's like, it's like when she like brings you into that weird like twilight area, right?
Yeah. I gotta grind a little bit more, but I'm like
maybe I can help you out.
I'm like level 45 or whatever. We'll fuck them up.
I have a character that's a little bit lower than that I could probably join you and have fun with. But shit. What do you think were your favorite moments of hosting this year?
There are a lot of fucking shows.
Yeah, if you can remember.
If I can remember. No, I have a list. So the one thing I've been lazy on this year is around March, I kind of just forgot to add new artists to the who's performing list. So I
have like lists and tabs on like Google Docs of everything.
I know it's over 600, and I know it's under 700, but I don't have an exact number. But I definitely want to get that portfolio together of just who I booked and who I haven't, etc. of this year. We've worked at a lot of venues, so. And I'll just go off the first thing that kind of comes to my mind.
Yeah, please do.
In February, we did 3 shows in one day. It was also the first show I did where I wasn't at. So
I remember that. That. It was like your first time in which you really kind of like entrusted other people to carry the bar's vision.
Yeah.
At least on the East Coast.
Yes, sir. So we started off that day at the afternoon at the at a vintage store in the Saugus Mall. It's a store called Hall of Family Vintage. We were going there like every other Saturday. We picked 2 artists. They rap for an hour or so, and then and it was cool because like people walking by the mall would check it out, and it was an awesome spot. Obviously, the mall eventually was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop doing that! Stop doing that!"
I had to get more brew.
You're good, bro. And then later that night, we Nick Will, who we don't work with as closely anymore, but you know I have a lot of respect for him, and I hope he's doing well. He ran a show in Bridgewater, and I ran a sold out Jeff Porter and David Ryan headline at the Jungle.
Hell yeah!
It was definitely one of the best days last year. There's fucking too much shit to even fucking combat. And then I guess the next like standout one would be when you came back for Opus, which was fucking awesome.
That was so cool. What month was that again?
That was May.
That was May. Wow. Like
and that was
was so early too.
And that was the first hip hop show at Opus in 3 years.
Yeah. That was a killer show.
That was awesome. We just got the news last week that not last week, but a few weeks ago that they're going to be renovating the basement into more like a lounge jazz type area.
I see.
So there aren't going to be any more hip hop shows there for the time being. I hope that changes. But
just book an R&B show.
Just book an R&B show. Dude, I actually went to go. Well, so Occasion Restaurant hit us up and it's cool that that happens. A lot of venues do hit us up, which is awesome because
Hmm.
we essentially provide a service. And and they were like they were interested in like some pop and R&B stuff. So I went down there to talk to them, and they were like, "Well, actually, we're actually just looking for exclusively Louisiana jazz." And I'm like,
That's so
I
bizarre.
don't what
What if
where
what
am I
if
like
it's what if it's jazz from Arkansas?
what if it's Georgia jazz? I don't know.
What if it's Alaskan jazz?
Yeah, so that was a bust. But
Yeah.
I definitely want to facilitate more like more than hip hop shows.
Yeah.
I could definitely do a pop and R&B lineup. I couldn't
Hmm.
probably do it multiple times a month, but
Yeah.
I'm hoping that different genres lead us into different paths and have us meet more performers, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my first favorite shows was and uh Lee Giles helped design the flyer for it, was the Ladies of the Rose show that I threw in March.
That one was
Uh
fresh.
there's this collective here in Portland called Ladies of the Rose, and it's all female owned, and we threw it all female like R&B singers, hip hop artists, just some of the best women in the city to do it. And that shit was bumping. Like I think I remember taking like an Instagram live or something, and then there were people like partying like almost 2 hours after the show ended. It was incredible. And also Lee Giles and their wife made an incredible flyer for
Yeah,
this.
Lee makes some of the best flyers.
Hmm.
He doesn't do as because we do multiple shows a month in
Yeah.
Maine. He doesn't do as many illustrations as he used to, but the flyers he makes still come out dope. They're different. They look like Lee Giles flyers, which is
Yeah.
dope. Um, yeah,
Going to Seattle on Cinco de Mayo was really cool too, because that
Cinco
was my
de
first time
Mayo,
ever
Mayo.
being up in Washington and being in Seattle. And so I was kind of like going blind, collaborating with this dude Leviathan. Shout out Jess Levi.
Going
Um,
blind. I love
and
those.
I met a lot of really cool people up there, and from those connections I made, there's a bunch of people that now kind of collaborate and come down to Cypher Saturdays that I mentioned earlier all the time, like Seven the Panther. He's fucking awesome. There's a lot of really good talent up in Seattle, and it was nice seeing a scene other than Portland, because
Mhm.
I'm still kind of new in Portland, but I know the scene in Portland pretty well. But then going to Seattle and just seeing tons of people I've never even heard of before was really cool. So shout out like Seven the Panther, Amante Cruz, Leviathan. It was really cool to meet a bunch of new people. That was also like my best flyer that I made of the year too,
Yeah, that
the
was a good one.
Seattle one.
It was black and white.
Yeah,
Um,
with like the needle in the background.
that's a good one. Yeah,
Um,
when I make
yeah,
flyers, I try to like incorporate sort of the venue, where it is, what kind of what the name of it is, what the name of the event's going to be, etc.
yeah.
You've been rocking it, bro. You've been killing it. Good
Yeah,
job.
well, I also appreciate that you gave me your premium PixArt, because like if you literally look at some of the flyers I made, the very first flyer I made was so boring compared to like
Bars.
the flyers that I make now, like just from practicing for a year working on PixArt while I'm on the bathroom at work. Um I feel like I've gotten so much better at graphic design when it comes to flyers. So that's a
Yeah.
skill that I picked up that I didn't think I was gonna do.
This year, I have become a fully self-sustainable creator,
Yeah.
and by that meaning that I'm a photographer. I'm a musician. I've been doing a lot of video editing. We do a weekly vlog. I used to be like, fuck, yo, video editing? Nah, man, I'm calling Nick Lovin. I don't want none of that. But editing videos is like super fun. Maddie will just catch
Yeah.
me editing videos, and she'll have to stop me because I love it. I love it so much.
Hmm.
It's really fun. It's cool. It's cool to create stuff. Um, making
I wanna
flyers
make
is
sure
fucking
that
awesome.
yeah, I need to get your information again, so that way I can actually make it
Oh
on my
yeah.
computer instead of my phone
I
anymore.
gotta figure out my information
Yeah.
again.
Every single flyer that I made this year was on my phone, like dragging things with
Me
my
too.
finger.
Me too.
Yeah.
my phone about to fucking explode
Yeah.
because I have 40 different fucking text boxes on the screen.
Yeah, no, and like sometimes you hit the limit and you have to make sure everything's on point. I always do like little backup saves and stuff in case like an artist drops off and I can just like quickly make a new flyer with the new artist. But man, it's and like with freeze over beats, I made a template using the background that you made for me originally for the Kelly show that I did on 420. And so now I just use that predominantly for freeze over beats. And then all I do is I take that template and the only two things I need to change on it um, are the producer that we have that is making the beats and the time.
The time.
And then what I do is I just slightly change the hue and I'm like, that's a new flyer.
That's a new flyer. That one's a new one.
That's a new one.
Yeah. This this new year has given me a cool opportunity to sort of remake some of the templates I wasn't happy with. We do the crack at Quincy, which is actually the first venue to ever reach out to us. It's a small
Cool.
pub in Quincy. We do it once a month. We call shows at pubs over pubs. So
Yeah.
I sort of had the chance this year because CXP is doing a show there called Controlled Experience, and so I kind of had opportunity for a break from the pubs over pubs, and then come back with a new revamp pubs over pubs look.
Yeah.
Dude, flyers are so dope, and
Flyers are so fun to make.
it's you need so much intuition as a graphic artist. It's crazy. I always tell people that, like, if at any point your brain's like, I can't really read this, well, then you got to change it. And if you're ever like, this could use a little bit more, maybe this could use a little bit more, it probably does need a little bit more. And then
and sometimes even simple is best as well. Like sometimes people overload flyers with like images and stuff, and I'm just like, what am I even looking at? Like, where's the address to this place? I feel like that's a thing that people leave out the most, is where the fuck the show is actually happening. Because I think they just assume that, oh, I'm in Portland, so that means people know it's in Portland. But yes, I don't know where the Laughing Dog is. You need to tell me what the address is for the Laughing Dog or whatever the hell the place is called.
Yeah, and then for cities, I do it on flyers for cities with multiple zip codes. I always put the zip code. If there's just one zip code in the city, I usually just leave it out because it's just space. It's
like going to New Hampshire. Like imagine, if you started doing pop-up shows at Dunkin' Donuts and you're just like, it's at Dunkin' Donuts.
It's at the Dunkin' Donuts.
It's at the Dunkin' Donuts. And it's like, shit, there's like 7 on the same fucking block.
Shout out DDwili.
Yeah.
Flyers. The flyers look dope. The flyers you make are good. They're different, but they also look like Bars Over Bars flyers, but they're different, which is
good. That's what I tried to do too. I wanted to make sure that it kind of had a similar but different aesthetic, and I definitely want to try to learn more about like what you do to mess with like font gradients and stuff, because I think that is really cool.
Yeah, I usually try to make sure that not all the text is white.
Yeah.
I I'll usually like with performances by, like, I'll make that like pink, and then who's running sound and who's hosting, I'll make that pink.
Yeah.
And then I'll make the who's presenting at the top pink, and then everything else will be white. So it just
one thing that's consistent though is that I use the same fonts as you for like
Lemon Milk.
Yep, lemon milk. I make sure I purposely use those for like artist names and stuff, so that way it still remains like the Bars font essentially.
In my opinion, Lemon Milk is the best font for basic information because it's clear, it's bold,
and it's all capitalized, so that way like if anybody has any weird shit, you can just be like, sorry, it's the font. Like, I know that your name is uppercase D, lowercase W, but ILI, but I know and you want to change it to DDwili, but sorry.
I think it's better to have everything. I've never had anybody get mad at me because
same here. It's nice. If it's all the same, they can't complain. That's the rule. If it's all the same,
they can't complain.
If it's all the same, they can't complain. Hero.
Yes.
So obviously we've been hosting this whole year, and you've been hosting for about 2 years. But what about your music, man? What's going on
Um,
with your music? You've dropped 3 EPs this year.
I don't rap no more. I don't
You don't
rap no
rap
more.
anymore?
I don't
You
rap no more, bro.
no, you dropped, what is it? Um L on
I
Lambert.
dropped Lesson on Lambert, and then in March, those were 4 dope tracks. One of them is not pay to win, play to win, which is
Hmm.
which is what you consider to be one of the nastiest beats you've ever heard, and it is
Oh, for
fucking
sure.
nasty.
Yeah.
And then we dropped Hate on Highland in May, and then just last week we dropped Lessons on Lambert. Not I already dropped that one. We dropped Wins on Winthrop, which
Yep.
is the third installment of my EP series.
Hmm.
And all these all the music I've dropped this year is sort of trying to paint a picture about what it's really been like to run shows in a
It
very
it seems like it's been pretty reflective
it's
of
been
what's been going on.
it's been super reflective, and the biggest thing you can do in life is learn from anything. Learn from, because if you refuse to learn, you will die. Truly, you will not grow. Your career will die if you do not learn.
Yeah.
And I win every day and I lose every day, and it's important that we as individuals learn from wins and losses.
Yes. Like I feel like a lot of people, when they receive a bunch of L's, they tend to give up. I don't know. Personally, I feel like you and I kind of have this sentiment too, where like if something gets tough, we want to try to see what we can do. It might like drag us down, but it like we want to try to figure out what exactly it is that we can take from that tough moment and do better from.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah.
Every time I feel like every time I feel like we hit a slow spot, it's like, what can we do to sort of reignite it? And like just this year, just these last few months, we've been putting out video content for every show, which really
Hmm.
which people really like and really want to see, because photos are cool, but like everybody wants a video of them performing, which is not something I could always offer because
Yeah.
I was deathly afraid of editing videos. But I've organized it in a way where it's super easy. I used to do a vlog per show, which was fucking nuts.
Oh yeah. No,
Um,
those were crazy.
fucking nuts. But I felt like they weren't like really long enough to make it worth anybody's time, in my opinion. So to do like 5 shows in a week and then put out a 10 to 15 minute vlog per those shows, I feel like makes for a more entertainable watch. Plus, there's more artists involved in this one video, so in theory, more people are gonna watch it, etc.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like my friend Shane Taylor who throws the Flow Show. Our buddy James, he always shoots recaps for every single one of the Flow shows, and they're always like, I don't know, like a minute long, so that way they can fit on the reels and stuff. And all he does is just takes short clips of every artist that perform and then tags everybody. Like sometimes you just need those short little clips to kind of
Yeah,
like remind everybody of how dope of a time everybody had.
yeah. The vlogs are good. Life's dope. Life's killer right
Yeah.
now. I love
So
DDwili.
yeah, I love Hero the MC. I love Derek.
Shut up. Shut
Derek.
up.
So with your writing though, Big Dog, what do you think was your favorite song you wrote this year? Or
Um,
dropped, wrote or dropped? Because I've written songs like literally 2 years ago. Like I dropped the Legacy EP. I wrote all of those fucking songs in like 2019, but I
so
dropped them this year.
so every song except for "That'll Be the Day," which was the Nick Lovin beat off the second EP, that
Yeah.
was all written this year. And
What
my
is your
favorite
favorite?
my favorite song that I've written this year is it's called All Eyes, and T Raff did the beat. He does a lot of production for Trevi. I know you met him at the Opus show.
Mm-hmm.
But it's sort of it's off of Hate on Highland, and it's the first verse is from the point of view of Tupac, and the second verse is from the point of view of the person who killed him.
Yeah.
Um, and that whole EP as a whole is really about how if you don't learn from your lessons, you will hate the people that do. And It's just it's fucking nasty, bro. You gotta
Do you
listen to it.
feel like you just like kind of reached a new way of writing when you wrote that song?
Yeah, I really feel like I captured and and I only gave them like 16 bars each. So to
Yeah.
tell a story in that time frame
Yeah.
and
It's
have it,
tough.
but death is so fucking quick, and so is
Mm-hmm.
life. So to have that quick verse, just I think it makes sense.
Yeah. 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 True.
But there's also another song, the final song off that EP called "Just You," which is basically the flip of that, where it doesn't matter what you do in life, because when you die, it's just you. It does it.
Mm-hmm.
You're just. I think. I mean, I don't know where we fucking go, but you're just left with yourself, and you got to be okay
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah. I feel like when I dropped Legacy, which I wrote 2019, but kind of finally dropped it, my ideology with that was like I have this obsession with making sure I leave an impression when I die, after I die,
Bars.
with music and stuff. So I have a song called Legacy Unforgettable. Uh,
Unforgettable.
None come to settle though. Um, in which I hope I do my job, but I feel like maybe we shouldn't worry about leaving a legacy and worry more about the impact that we're making in the moment, I guess.
Definitely.
You know. Um, Personally, my favorite song I dropped this year was New Game Plus.
Oh, that's such a good one. That
Yeah.
new game plus you ain't.
That was directly correlating like me making music for like 10 years in New England, and then let's say I completed the game when I moved out here, and then I started my new game plus in Portland. And so I just like what I wrote. I think it's like every time I perform that song, people fucking go nuts because I do that fast part, and they're like, "I didn't know you could do that live." And I'm like, "I've been doing it live since fucking 2008." So
Yeah, DDwili don't fuck around with the fucking DDwili don't fuck around with no backing vocals. Don't even
no,
ask.
no, I don't.
DDwili
Um,
don't.
Enough talking about us, though, Hero. As much as we love everybody that we put on our shows, who you think, well, what artists and maybe like what songs have really stood out to you this year that have just been on repeat, or like artists that you find yourself thinking of a lot that you've met on the East Coast? Because I would like to learn about them.
Sure. The I've kind of already talked about all of them because they're performing on the New Year's show for the most part. The most important thing this year was booking people that represent the brand well and respect me, respect Maddie, respect the team, respect what we're doing.
Yeah,
Um, the two of the coolest dudes, Jeff Porter, David Ryan. I mean, I
true.
molded them. I built them. I built them.
They left an impression on me when I came down too. Like it was really cool. It made me really miss fucking performing with my old rap group, seeing those guys perform live together.
They are nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Demon's Disciple, who's one of the coolest dudes. I mean, he's a recovering addict. His story is fucking amazing, and every time he performs, it really just it it tells a story. It sets the tone, and he's such a fucking nice dude, and he's it's very good to have him represent the brand because he's such a good dude.
Yeah, yeah.
God, you fucking asked me all the shout out questions. So my homie J Ram from Woonsocket, Rhode Island, he actually helped us book our first Rhode Island show this year, which was in April. It was at Pete's Pop in Pawtucket, which is a candy store. Since then, I mean, he's been hosting and helping me throw every show I do in Rhode Island. Me and J Ram set it up.
Yep.
And the music that J Ram puts out is so not it's so out there, not out there like Macklemore, but like it's
Different.
it's about shit.
Yeah.
And it's like this like Denzel Curry old school ish style that's it's like da 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 da, and it's fucking awesome. Shout out J Ram. Everyone on the team is dope. Shout out Kava. Shout out fucking TJ. Shout out everybody. I love everybody. Everybody that I still book, I love. They go hard. And I
Yeah.
know, I know you love some people. Shout out Arev. Shout out fucking
Yeah.
Noci. Shout out
Yeah.
Vancouver. Vancouver.
You pretty much named, well, obviously, like my favorite artist I hang out with is A Revolution, just because she out of everybody that I've met, she understands that support and collaboration is key, and so we equally support each other. Me with her Cypher Saturdays, her with my Bars Over Bars. I go to all of her shows. She goes to pretty much all of mine. No C, big homie. He's also a recovering addict, and he's one of the few people out here that I know that does spoken poetry with in between a lot of his sets, and it's really good. Um, Zane Thomas, who was the person who put me on my first showcase ever when I moved out here, does a lot of mental health stuff. He is also a recovering addict. And there's such a community for people who came from bad situations and have pulled themselves out of it, and now use their experiences to help like educate others as to how not to do that, and also educate others in the way of like mental health awareness and stuff, and that's really nice. Also, rest in peace, Big Graham. Obviously,
Big Graham.
probably
R.I.P.
one of the
Big Graham.
most impactful artists this year when he passed away. I think of his music all the time. I think actually my Spotify Unwrapped had him as like top artist.
I play him. I play him at least. I play one Big Graham song at least once a show.
Oh, easily. I think the song that usually gets stuck in my head is either C Notes or I love Lore and Money Dance. Like those are like two of his classic tracks.
7:30. It's a vibe, little homie.
No, I remember when you came and visited and we were listening to Big Graham, we went to go to the Rose Garden, and then we just started bumping Big Graham after we had put him on a show. Yeah. And we are just like, we love Big Graham.
Yeah, we had a bunch of people drop out of the first show, but we were very thankful that Big Graham came, and we got to get him on, and my trip would have been a lot different if we didn't meet him.
Exactly. So. I think out of like the year that I've been doing bars shows, he's definitely been the most impactful artist for me, for sure. But shout out to also anybody that I've ever put on bars. There's people that hit me up directly after bar shows that I put them on and be like, yo, when can I get on the next one?
Yo, when?
And I have to be like, well, my goal is to try to get as many different artists, so if somebody drops out, maybe. But
I get a lot of people that message me, and I have people that recommend people, and I always recommend that people come out to a show and meet me first, because I not only want to, I want to know that you're about support, not just for me, but I want to know that you love music and you support music, and you want to be involved in this. But I also want you to come out and see the show, and not want you to think that it's like this big fucking sold out experience with 8 billion bottles popping and shit, because sometimes we're just fucking lit in a clothing store. Like, it's not.
Yeah, no, and to be honest, I like those shows. I'm just grabbing my vape.
Yeah.
But I try to get that into people's minds too, where like this is a platform and an experience for you to just be able to do what you want on stage, and people will listen. Because there were so many people this year that I booked their first show ever. There were so many people that hit me up and said, you were the first person that ever paid me for doing a show. There are people that were just like, yo, I told people to come check this out because of the experience you guys gave me. Fucking the year anniversary show was so special because there were just so many people that were like, I had never gone to a bar show before, and I figured the year anniversary would be the one to go to and stuff. So it's a really, really nice community out here, and I'm really glad that people mess with the vision. And I'm thankful for like Paige from Big Legrowski, for after she saw you and I host the shows that August that you came out, she really, even though we didn't necessarily have the biggest crowd, she saw the vision that we wanted to do, and that's what allowed me to throw shows all this year.
Yeah, the vision's there, the energy's there, the support is there. I've had shows where just the artist shows up, and I've considered those to be some of the best events.
Yeah.
Did I leave losing money? Probably. Yeah. But I had I had a great time.
Yeah.
I've also had shows where just the artist showed up, and I've never wanted to go home quicker. it's hit or miss, and I've had shows that are sold out that I fucking want to go home.
I will
And
say right now, the only time I've ever really wanted to go home from a show early is because I know that it's gonna because everybody's having a good time, and I know that I have work at 6 a.m. in the morning, and I'm just like, I want to get out, and that's why it's nice to have a fiance like Raina who helps pull me out because I tend to chat with people for a while, and so she'll just grab me and be
oh
like,
me,
"Sorry, he has work at 6 a.m. and it's for 12 hours. We gotta go."
Maddie's never said that. She just patiently waits while I talk, and I know I shouldn't.
No, Raina will literally pull me. She'll physically pull me out of the bar.
Yeah, most events. I don't think I've ever thrown an event that's supposed to go past midnight. So,
Yeah.
in theory, like I'm usually gone by 12:30 ish. I mean, we've had shows where I've left at like 2, 3.
Mhm.
It's been fucking nonsense. But the latest event that should end, it should end at midnight.
Yeah.
So, but even then, to wake up early is like fuck.
Do you want to answer a question that
Ass.
somebody asked us on Instagram?
Hell yeah, I want to answer a fucking question. This is a very fucking productive fucking live stream, DDwili.
That's what I do.
That's what I
I'm known
do.
for getting shit done.
Get shit donezo. Me and you, donezo. After this,
Dunzo.
bro, donezo. After
Yo,
this.
okay. So here's a future thing before we answer some Instagram
Answer
questions.
some answers.
So you want to move to Colorado in 5 years and just start a scene there? No, you don't have to move out here. I don't have to move back there. Let's just both move to Colorado. And just no, we should just move in the direct middle of the United States and start throwing shows there.
What's that Denver hip hop scene like? They got people. They got people out there.
I don't know, but we can make it happen.
I'll think about it. I know. Demons
5 years,
wants.
5-year plan.
We'll talk about it. I know Demons wants to go to. Well, he's got family in Israel,
Yeah.
and I know he wants to.
Bars
I know
over
he wa-
bars, Israel.
Bars up, free Palestine. Bars over bars. Israel wants to. It's
Bars.
gonna. We're gonna do it. TJ is hoping to start Bars over bars South Carolina in the next few months or so.
What region of the United States is that? Because I'm dumb with geography.
South Carolina is East Coast. It's right
Okay.
above Georgia.
Okay. So like kind of like mid east.
Sure. So just like Oregon, everything outside of New England is fucking huge. So
Yeah.
like I'm not familiar about South Carolina cities, but like in there's Charlotte in fucking North Carolina, and then there's
Yep.
Durham, which are like the two big cities, and they're like
Yep.
3 hours apart. And in the middle, there's like not a human being.
That's essentially
Yeah.
Portland, where like the biggest cities are like 3 hours apart from each other. Whereas in New England, you can go like an hour and a half and hit another major city.
Yeah. So to like, for example, to have like a bars over bars South Carolina, you would then need another person to run Georgia or North Carolina.
Yeah.
So like every state would be like its own sort of infrastructure.
I'm
How I-
okay. I'm okay
How-
with Pacific Northwest because
PDX?
that includes Washington, Portland, Idaho.
Idaho?
Shut up, Big Ram
Potatoes.
and then California. So I have a question for us, but we'll answer some Instagram questions. real
How are we
quick.
gonna find more people to run this? Beats me, bro. Beats
Yeah.
me. We'll
Yeah,
figure it
it's-
out though. I found you.
basically- Yeah, that we find people who are equally as involved and want to spread the love of local music. That's what Tough Shed does for me, DJ who travels like 2 hours away and 2 hours back almost every show. He hasn't been able to make the last few shows, but like literally first half of this year, he would literally drive up every single time to DJ because he believed in the vision that we had. So, and then I do have some connections up in Seattle, but I still want to kind of build people up first before I can kind of. It must have been a really big step for you to trust me to throw shows out here, but also to trust other people in New England to throw shows when you're not present. And that's something that I want to try to work on at some point.
Yeah. It's really just working with somebody a bunch to where if it's hard to put in words.
Yeah.
I trust you to do what we do because you love what we do and you know what defines it,
Yeah.
and you work super fucking hard to make sure it happens,
Mm-hmm.
and you kill it.
Thank you.
You
Appreciate it.
you truly want to push hip hop forward, and you're all about support, and that's why I trust you to do this, and you fucking kill it.
Yeah, and
Kill it.
that's why I trust you too, because I feel like you fulfill the bar's vision. I
I
hope
do a
so
good
because
job.
you created it. So
I created it, but I have a lot of help, and that's why every time someone's like, "Yo, shout out Hero," like I'm like, "Fuck me
yeah,
forever."
bars
Like
over bars isn't just like me doing it, me and Raina and Tough Shed, or you
it's
and Maddie
everybody.
and everybody. It's everybody who's involved with
It's the
making local hip
performers, the
hop be on
venue,
a platform for people.
the performer, the venue, the fucking bartender, the door guy. It's everything that makes an event happen. Period. You are a part of that,
Hmm.
and that's just what we're about. I do have some questions.
Yeah,
Um, Repeat wants to know what. Let me look. Repeat wants to know what's the one thing you change about the communities you service, and I believe that is more of the New England, the New England side of
for
things.
sure.
Um, it's very hard to explain. It's very hard to say what I want to say without it sounding super negative or to throw shade at
You
anybody
sound
because
pretentious as well.
I don't want to do that. But the New
What
England
is it?
hip,
What is it that you think you do different? How about?
I think I do. I think I've cracked the fucking code, and I think some people are upset about that.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that I can tell you just from the going off the top here is that you're one of the few promoters that I know, even back when I was in New England. There's definitely some people that put a lot of new artists on the shows. They give them opportunities, they pay them and stuff without really expecting much in return. One thing that I noticed too is the first thing I noticed is that you take photos of everybody, you do live streams of everybody. So you actively create content for free for artists to use outside of the shows, before the shows, and outs and after the shows as well. Like you have Google Drives full of images that you take, and I know some people have hated like, sometimes it looks like Heroes just like quickly taking pictures and stuff, but you take
Bink.
thousands of pictures.
Yeah,
Yeah,
since I've started doing videos, I've kind of I usually fuck what so since I've started doing videos, the number of photos I take per event is around 200 to 300, which is still a lot, but it's better than like the 500 to 1,000 I would normally take.
yeah. Condensing it's definitely good. I have my phone right now, and I hope to invest in a like a camera or something in the future. But I have people that come out to the shows and just take photos, and then are just like, "Hey, I took photos. You want to use them?" And I, as long as you tag the photographers and give them their thanks, like I think that works out enough too.
Yeah, making sure people, especially photographers, get their credit is such a super simple thing, and I don't think it's like on purpose. I think it's just like social media ignorance, which
Yeah.
can be taught. Not everyone knows that you should tag everybody. Not everyone knows that you can
Yeah,
tag
yeah, you
everybody.
should tag like if somebody made a flyer for you, you should tag them. If somebody did art for you, you should tag them. Anytime you post a song that you made, you should tag the person who made the artwork, who produced it, who engineered it.
Yeah,
Like it's important because if people are like, "Yo, man, I really like this beat that you like," they can just go to the post that you posted and see who made that beat, so they can reach out and network. And I think that's important.
it is super important.
Yeah,
Um, so repeat. The one thing that I would change is I would just want more collaboration, and
yeah.
I can definitely be doing more on my part, but
Hmm. Same here. Same here.
it's definitely a two-way street. And it's a lot. It's a fucking domino dynamic of nonsense that I don't want to fucking explain because there's too many intricacies of I do one thing, then someone else does another thing, and that
And
other person does
collaboration
one
doesn't
thing.
have to just be like who runs the show. Collaboration could be like you have a sponsor that comes through. Like, for example, when I did the 420 show at Kelly's Olympian, I asked Shane Taylor, who owns the Brothers Apothecary, which is a CBD tea company. I asked him if he could vend and maybe be like kind of like a sponsor or a vendor at my event. And it, just little touches like that. Oh, a collaboration between you and a photographer, a collaboration, even a venue collaboration is key as well. making
Definitely.
sure that they have a say in everything. It isn't just like who is throwing the show, it's who's a part of the show.
No, I mean, I know that regular music venues really don't have an opinion on acts because they have 8 billion of them that come through. But
Yeah.
like when I work with a small business, I always try to make sure that they're even more taken care of than the regular music venues
Yeah.
because they're new to the shit and like they might have a homie they want to put on and I'll put them on.
Yeah.
Some of the coolest people I've met with artists, and some of the coolest venues I've worked with I've met because artists have introduced me to them. And like Groovy, like Isaac Groove, he's introduced me to like 4 Salem venues, and they've become some of the coolest spots we're still playing.
Yeah. That's
So
awesome.
so to answer Repeat's question, I will just say this: um, if you've ever called a venue to get our show shut down, if you've ever said something to somebody to get them to stop working with us, you are an enemy to hip hop and you will not be here long. I'm not going to do anything,
Yeah.
but hate gets you nothing but more hate in return. You will burn yourself out and you will die.
Yeah. One thing
Figuratively.
that people have told me that I kind of do different than other people is even on the bars over bars Instagram, I'll promote other shows that have nothing to do with me. Because it like I think it kind of sucks that sometimes people have shows on the same nights, but like at the same time, sometimes that's preferable to people. Maybe somebody doesn't want to go downtown Portland to go to a show. They just want to go on the east side. And if there's a show on there, I can't hate if they want to go to something that's closer to them and more
Yeah.
comfortable for them to go to. And I think that's part of collaboration as well. That is not directly going with throwing shows. It's also like, hey man, like if you know of any other dope events that are going on, you should share them, even if you're not necessarily a part of them. Like if you like what they're doing, you should let other people know what they're doing so that way they can experience it, because that also helps you network with people outside of your circles as well.
Yeah. And that's why I recommend that other people play with other hip hop promoters because everyone has different people. Like sometimes I look at other hip hop flyers and there's not a single artist name that I've seen before.
Yeah.
So the
And
amount of
that's
talent
cool. That's really cool.
that's cool. And the amount of talent in your area is huge. The amount of things going on is huge. And it's never ever 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 a personal attack if someone does 2 shows in the same night.
Yeah.
If they I mean if they do it like super close by, if what I'm trying to say is that it's not a personal attack unless it's
Yeah.
like on purpose. But if you do something out of spite, you're not really building what we've built and it's not going to
Yeah.
last.
Yeah. And I've worked with people that I didn't necessarily agree with how they ran things. I've been the shows where I've just been like, I'm not a big fan of how this goes. But everybody, I think one thing that promoters should really try to do is focus more on making sure that the artists get the limelight that they deserve
Yeah,
as well.
it's making the artist the priority is a big plus. It's why I don't do a lot of restaurants and stuff because I mean, to be fair, when I go out to eat, I don't want to fucking listen to anybody play
Yeah,
music. Period. So I want to make sure that the crowd and the environment isn't awkward for the performer, and
exactly.
just try to make sure the experience is all right for everybody.
Make it comforting for people who might be going to a live show for the first time since like COVID has been kind of you know uh, been alleviated. It isn't completely gone, but making sure that the event that you're throwing is comfortable for everybody who goes. There are times in which like I see people by themselves at my shows or whatnot, and I'll just like go up and chat with them and be like, yo, how'd you like these artists so far? And you want to make people be a part of it, because nobody likes going to like a party and feeling as if they don't know anybody there or don't feel welcome. You want to make sure people feel welcome and enjoy what they're doing.
Um, DDwili, you're a god amongst men.
Thanks.
Um,
What's another
up,
question?
up next, Kava wants to know what is your favorite song of each other's and why. My favorite DDwili song is probably "Dreams of Disco."
Oh, thank you.
It's the
Why?
dreams
Why?
of
Tell me
disco,
why.
baby.
Tell
Because
me
it's
why.
it's technically the first song I added on my title library. So when I load
Mhm.
up my when I load up my DJ software, it's always the first song, and I usually
Cool.
play it. I usually play it during an event, and I love it. It's
Yeah.
you kill it. Rain Ezra did a lot of work on that project.
Yep.
There are a lot of tracks that I like, especially off that project. Martinis in the back of the butt.
Yep.
Martin-
I love the martinis in the back of the butt.
Simple life.
Oh, what? That's Tough Shed's favorite song of mine.
Oh, that's such a good one.
Uh,
Legacy, and then
yeah.
fucking the verses with Refugio were fucking disgusting. They were fucking
Oh yeah.
crazy. What was it
Me
like
and
working with him on that one?
Well, I had written that song like 3 years ago, and
Yeah.
then I've literally asked like 11 people to feature Legacy, and all of them turned it down. And then I sent it to Refugio, and then he sent me like a demo the next day, and I'm like, word, he's totally on board with it. And he's actually been coming over recently. We're working on like a little mini like kind of like weed project essentially.
Weed project.
Yeah.
Shout
And
out.
it's gonna be really cool. Like I'm eventually gonna perform on the thesis. And I really hope that we have some songs narrowed down because I'd love him to be on stage with me during that. For you, Hero, one of my favorite, obviously I love fucking Boston.
Fucking Boston.
I feel like that's such like a New England song, and it's so nice to see. Like, I feel like I don't do a whole lot of regional music or music that is about where I'm physically at. Like New Game Plus, I kind of talk about being on the West Coast and being on the East Coast, but I never like put names to things. And one thing that I like about you is that you're very much a New England artist, and you reflect that in your music. And so I like fucking Boston. My favorite song to hear you perform live is "The Wait."
Dude, The Wait is
Yeah.
I love that song.
But then also "Play to Win" is probably one of my more favorite recent songs by you. Mainly because I think you guys all fucking kill the beat, and I love the features on it as well.
Yeah. David Ryan, Jeff Porter, they murked it. They did exactly what I needed them to do.
I do love the first collaboration song we did, because I love that you showed that to me, and then I had a hook idea, and you're like, do it. And I'm
Do
like,
it.
but I think I like Shush a little bit more, just
Shush a
because
bit
we both
while I go
rap
bump
on
my
it. We
hits.
both rap, and you clearly researched and know my own music and incorporated that into your own verse, and I really like that as well.
Major malfunction.
Yep, major malfunction. So yeah, the live wise, The Wait. Recorded wise, probably fucking Boston, but Play to Win is also dope. And then to perform live together would be Shush.
Shush is so good.
We have a song that we're coming out with soon.
Yes, in
that I
January.
recorded.
In January, asterisks. We are dropping the next Bars Over Bars single, for which we have dropped 3. They've been fucking awesome. They've been doing super well, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And they just sort of define what we're about. This next one is called On Lock. It's just some rippity raps from me and Dill, produced by Tyrus Beats, who did he's from Northampton, Mass. He did all 4 tracks off the EP I just dropped.
I didn't even know that was a local producer who made that beat.
So Northampton is like an hour north of Springfield, which is 2.5 hours away from me. So it's not. I mean, it's local. I mean, it's Massachusetts local, but I found him on YouTube, and then I just started messaging him. And he's like,
cool, nice.
He's just
This is
some
so
teenager.
dope. Like, people hate on YouTube beats.
I
but
love
it's
YouTube
really-
beats.
I love YouTube beats. Dreams of Disco wouldn't fucking exist without them.
YouTube beats are fucking dope.
Yeah. One more question.
Aquez wants to know what's my favorite restaurant in Mass? Any Chipotle.
Any Chipotle. I thought Applebee's was it.
Look, Applebee's.
Applebee's.
Applebee's hasn't been the move lately. If we're being
Oh
honest.
man.
Look, the portion sizes, because the world's on fire, and it's still on fire. The portion sizes have gone down so dramatically that like I'm just like, I don't even want to go there anymore. But every Chipotle now, Chipotle.
Yo, listen. When Hero and Maddie flew into Portland, me and Raina were just like, yo, we're gonna bring you to a really dope restaurant that we really enjoy. I hope you guys do it. And then we just went straight to an Applebee's.
Straight to Applebee's. A few months ago, I told Maddie we were going to a cute little French bistro called Chipotle, and then we pulled up to Chipotle. It's a little French
A little
bistro, chipotle,
frosh.
a little
Yes.
French.
Yes. I think.
You got one more.
Oh, you got one more.
Do you have a favorite restaurant? And let's just say New England for you, if you
In New
remember anything.
England.
Yeah. What's your
Um,
favorite restaurant in Portland, Oregon?
my favorite restaurant in Portland, Oregon. Um, it's tough. What's the breakfast place that we've been to?
Is that the one we went to with the
Oh,
trees?
with the trees?
Yeah, there were trees outside. There are trees everywhere.
That helped. No, there's this breakfast place called Jam on Hawthorne, which has really, really good food, really good breakfast food that I really enjoy.
So I remember we went to this breakfast restaurant. I think on like our third day.
Was it like that breakfast place? Oh, okay. I don't think we've been there at that point. Wasn't it that the guy was like parked in half of the parking spots or
Yeah.
something? Yeah.
Okay. And then I looked outside and I said, "This doesn't even look like a real place. The trees don't even look real." And then you
I
were like,
remember
"Yeah." And you were like, "Yeah, the trees over here do kind of look weird.
that.
Yeah, these weird trees."
What is
Um,
that place? There's another place called Cricket Cafe that I really like as well.
what was that place? Boots. What was it?
Boots. What was that place?
Boots.
Um,
And then
what
Deep
about
Willie.
real quick, what has been one of your favorite venues to throw a show at in 2022?
Loaded question, bro. Loaded question. Um, are you
Most
how do you
unique place, how about? Because you did it, one place you told me about was you did an axe throwing place. You also did like a place that was like an airport diner, which I thought sounded really cool.
Yes, both places we don't do anymore, but we did do a few events at the Runaway in Sanford, which was a cool airport cafe venue. They had a area outside for performances. It's actually the airport where when the presidents want to fly, it's a private airport, but when the presidents want to fly into Portland, they'll land in Sanford
Yeah.
and then they'll drive 40 minutes to get to Portland. Um, that's a super cool spot. We've done a ton of cool fucking dope shows this year. We've done smoke shops, we've done sneaker stores, we've done boxing gyms, we did there's a new spot in Nashua that opened up. It's called Rude Awakening Kava Bar.
Okay.
And Kava it's with a K. It's
I was gonna
basically
say he's a pretty good artist, right?
Kava's dope. Uh Kava with a K is a stimulant that derives from the root of the coffee plant. And it's not that good of a drink, but it is a great it is super healthy and
Yeah.
it is very energy full and it is, I don't know, the youth love. It's like fucking the
The
youth,
youth
bro.
loved
The
it.
youth drink it.
Yeah.
It was super cool to play there. New England's first kava bar. We did New England's first hip hop show at a kava bar. It was dope. Doing Opus this year, doing it 5 times has been
Mm.
truly a blessing. I remember it being 2019. I was 20, just performing for the first time, like seeing Opus Underground and being like, I want to play here. And
Mm.
then in late 2019, they were like, yeah, we're not doing hip hop anymore. And I was like, ah, Patooey. And then the world was on fire. And then I knew that when they came back, I was gonna be able to talk them into it, and we did it. We set up Bars Opus Bars, and then from there we did four more dope shows, 5 more dope shows, four
Mm-hmm.
more five. We've done 6 shows in total. We did a lot of cool shows there. Um, we also did other Salem spots. We did Bit Bar in Salem. It's a barcade. It was packed. It was fucking dope. Um, we did our first Connecticut show, our first Rhode Island show.
Yeah.
There's too much. There's too much, bro.
There really is.
There's I mean, I'm looking at the list. It's all kind of it's all not a little, I don't want to say it's all samey, but um we've done a lot. And
Yeah.
I'm grateful for every show.
Done
If I
a lot.
if I had to pick a favorite venue, it would probably be honestly the Felt Fanatic in Salem.
Okay.
It's a small little clothing store. We do it once a month, and Zach, the owner, just he holds us down. He lets us do our thing. He's he loves being a part of the event. He's just a really cool dude, and we're there every month, and it's cool. I don't gotta worry about turnout because it's just a fucking store,
Mm-hmm.
and it's those spots where I have the freedom to do what I want without having to worry about a lot of the extra shit that makes this stressful.
Yeah.
If you had a favorite show, what would it be?
My a favorite show. I
Favorite
mean,
venue, favorite venue, favorite venue. Big
favorite
Legrowski.
Big Legrow. Well, Big Legrowski has provided so many shows here, and I've always enjoyed performing at the Big Legrowski. And over time, the sound, like originally when I first moved here, I felt like the sound was kind of poopy. And
Poopy.
then there's a dude named Will who does sound for a majority of my shows, and he also operates the lights as well. And he pays very close attention to what the artists do when they perform, and he reflects the lights in their performances. And so that always makes it a really special thing. Kelly's Olympian has been dope because they've been letting me do freeze over beats with A Revolution there. And I really did like the substation up in Seattle. It was an interesting place where they also had living quarters for like artists on tour. So like if they needed a place to stay, they had like kind of little
Oh,
like artist
that's dope.
studios there, which was really cool. I'm trying to think. I really hope, and this kind of ties into the question I wanted to ask you
Yes,
for
sir.
like one of our final questions is what our goals are for next year for Bars Over Bars. And one of my goals is to try to find more venues. And there's this place called Show Bar off of Stark Street, and it's just a really really cool area. It's a nice space, and I really hope that I can get in contact with management there, booking, and try to get some residential shows going on there.
Yes, sir. Um,
So
so
what is it? What is it? What do you think that bars needs to do next year? Obviously more of the same thing, but what is more that you're seeking?
um,
Like, do you have a show limit? Do you have like a guesstimate of like how many shows you're gonna do? Do you have any personal goals for yourself and for bars for next year?
I I started this year off with a goal of 200 shows.
Yeah.
We fucking did 251. Knocked that fucking shit out the fucking park.
Yep.
Um, Next year we're doing less. I told the team that I don't want to do more than 4 shows a week.
Yeah.
I don't want to personally be at more than 4 shows a week.
Yeah.
I would also love to be able to unload most slash all of Rhode Island and Connecticut on the JRAM. He can fucking handle it. He just needs the equipment. He's fucking killing it.
Yeah.
Um, I want to do our first Vermont show. I think that would be cool. Maybe get Mr. Burns on it, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Burns is so fucking dope.
Maybe Jarv as well.
Jarv, dude, Mr. Burns is the first dude I've ever seen sell a fucking USB drive with his music on it.
Nice.
And they're like little cassette fucking. Shout out, Mr. Burns. Um, this year I wanted to book some big acts, but I think that didn't really happen. I wanted to book Apathy. I wanted to book Slain. I was
You
been
did
kind
get
of waiting.
terminology, right?
Yeah, we got Term. We got Onyx this year, which is a huge act. They had a lot of big hits in the '90s. One of the beats in fucking 8 Mile that they rapped over was an Onyx beat for the rap battles.
Mm-hmm.
So Sticky Fingers and Fred Rostar, these are two big artists. They're on tour in South America right now. We got them. We got them up in Portland, Maine on a Thursday. It was awesome.
Nice.
I definitely want to do more big acts. I really just want to. I don't want to waste our time,
Yeah.
which is kind of why I've done a lot more this year than I've had to kind of figure out where I should and shouldn't waste my time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to create more video content. I want to do more interviews. I want to do a bi-weekly episode of this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Pods over pods. I love pods
Yeah.
over pods. Shout out to Willie.
Yeah, pods over pods is nice.
I just don't want to waste our time anymore.
Yeah.
Because if we're wasting our time, then we're wasting the performance time. We're wasting the venue's time. And
Can you
I
give
just
an
want-
example of time wasted?
um,
Or like what you would consider be a waste of time?
like throwing a show that I know is never gonna get me to break even.
Okay.
Like I just rather not throw the show.
yeah.
You know, because if the venue wants, if it's, for example, we used to book a music video studio, and it would be 250 for the night, and that's a fair price if you're
Yep.
filming a music video for 4 hours. But
Yep.
when you're throwing a show and you're trying to get that money back, basically I need to sell 25 tickets to break even,
Yeah.
right? And I can't get anybody paid, so I need to essentially get everyone to bring 25 people for me to break even, and I need everyone to essentially work for free. And situations like that, I kind of just want to get out of.
Yeah, just make it so it's like, okay, everybody's like working towards helping me pay off this debt instead of
Yeah.
like just doing it.
Instead of like, I'd rather just have the show be free and not worry about anything.
Yeah.
Like at the Fell Fanatic, it's a free booking. We take donations for the Salem Food Pantry. We've raised over $1,200 this year from our 9 events that we've done,
Yep.
and we're giving that money to the Salem Food Pantry soon. And the event's free, doesn't cost me anything besides transportation to show up. I got all my equipment. I just want to make sure that the situations we're in, if the show's not free, we can get the artist paid.
Yeah,
That's
and
kind of,
I think that's super fair too, because I would love to do tons of free shows,
yeah.
and I know a lot of artists that would be totally down to do that as well. But if I'm at a venue where like I have to pay the venue to like host it and stuff, and so that means I need to sell tickets, I don't want to make it so like people have to buy tickets and then none of that goes to the artists.
Yeah. I think that what we do is such a new thing for the genre. Like getting artists paid, like not having to pay to perform and getting paid is such, especially as like an opener, not a lot of fans, just starting out artists. Like that is unheard of. So for us to do that is so
Yeah,
monumental, and I want to keep that going, and I want to make sure that people's time are valued and people get paid, and
yeah,
it's just like that. So moving forward, I'm really 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 trying to make sure that if the show's not free, we have a plan to pay the artist. And
yeah.
if not, it might even be better to just do a different venue.
Exactly. And I agree with that sentiment a lot. You know, seeing how many shows you did this year, I feel like a goal for this year, 2022 was like I want to try to throw as many shows as I can so I can get as many people involved as possible.
Yeah.
And there's definitely like tons of people where I've like, hey man, you performed at the last show. Like I need to make sure I switch it up so that way it isn't like the same show that I'm throwing every single month and whatnot. I'm hoping that I can be a little bit more lax with that this year. And I know a buddy who just bought a bunch of equipment, and I'm hoping that we can collaborate on some showcases so that way we can you know, he can curate people from his side, I can curate people from my side, and we can try to do more pop-ups so that way we can kind of get more of the same people who've been performing in the past onto shows, because obviously those people love what we're doing and want to be involved, and I don't want to push them away because I'd rather have newer artists. I want to make sure that I kind of, if I do repeat shows, it would be at a more of a variety of venues essentially. So that way, different people at least will hear the same artist and not just the same spot hearing the same artist.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
yeah,
how we grow. We travel, we play different spots, and and I unless it's like a personal request, I really try not to book the same act too often at the same spot.
yeah. I usually like I want to try to give like at least like a 2 or 3 month separation or something, unless I'm throwing a bunch of shows in those months, in which it's like okay, maybe like every like 5 shows or something like that. But
Yeah.
I do try my best because I think sometimes the local scene becomes oversaturated with people who are just booking the same artists just because they're available. They're
Oh yeah.
dope artists for sure. It's just, you know, like if I go to one show and I see this person perform and then the next day they're performing at the same show with the same exact people, it's like you want a little bit of variety.
We've had we've done I've done, let's just say I've done 200 shows this year on my own. There hasn't been a single lineup that's been the same at the same venue.
Yeah.
There's probably been like some like headline show where they wanted like some people that have also been on whatever. There's
Yeah.
probably been
Yeah.
like
But
very
not
very very
all the same
similar
lineup.
lineups,
Yeah.
but definitely not at the same venue and definitely not the exact same lineup. It is important to I try to get creative. I try to book people that haven't met each other, that have met each other, just so everybody feels like they're meeting new people and they're
Yeah.
comfortable with some of the people they know.
And the one thing I want to bring up as a promoter and like somebody who actively seeks people out to perform too is that there's some people that might not necessarily recognize or understand that like bars is for them.
Yeah.
When I was curating all female showcases, I hit up some songwriters and like, oh, I thought it was like predominantly hip hop. I'm like, no, like we genre blend a little bit, and I think you would fit very well with this lineup of people. Sometimes it's about reaching out and just saying like, hey, this is a resource you can use if you'd like to perform.
Yeah, it's important to reach out to people that maybe
Don't get the same kind of opportunities
that
as
don't get the
others.
same.
Or don't think that they deserve the same opportunities,
Hell yeah. I try to make sure our lineups are diverse, not only genre wise, not only gender wise, not only racial wise. I just try to make sure that that everybody's gaining something from somebody and I offer the same opportunities to each and every person that I would anybody else.
Exactly.
It just comes down to like, do you respect what we do?
Yeah, respect is a
And
big thing too.
I
Open
prioritize the people.
communication is my big thing too.
Fuck yeah, bro. Like and we're kind of in a genre where communication isn't people's strong suit.
Not at all.
It's I don't want to call anybody out, but it's 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 never like it's usually not like just ignorance. It's usually just like I wanted to be on time, but I'm not. Not everyone
Yeah.
has a car. People got kids. People got lives. It's not whatever. It's the people that communicate this to me love you forever. It's the people that just like that just waste my time and don't show up. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Just like, if you're putting all this time into making sure that their name's on the flyer, that you're promoting the show with their name on it, and if you're telling people like this is a time in which I want sound check, like even if people tell you like, hey, I don't think I can make sound check that day because I have to work. Can you accommodate me? That's perfect because then
yeah,
I can actually expect you to show up late, and that's perfectly fine if you let me know that's the case. For the most part, people are pretty good about that out here. I've had some people just no show up and stuff, or they've shown up like as the show was ending, being like, "Yo, man, I'm ready," and I'm like, "No,
I'm
you're
ready.
not.
The
No,
show's
you're not.
over.
Show's over."
Yeah. Communication is key for everything in life, and like you said, we put a lot of effort into making sure that you are the priority, and just the least you could do is tell me that you're not coming.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I
It
literally
sucks. It sucks hearing that, but I'd much rather hear that than
yeah
like expect you to be there and you're not
yeah
there.
um just fucking show up. The fuck. No, if you can't, shit happens.
You must hate performing if you
Life
don't
is
want to
fucking
show up.
life is a dumpster fire. If you can't make
Yeah.
it, let me know.
Yeah,
If you
and
do, let me know.
that
Thank
stuff
you.
happens too, like car issues or like you couldn't get a babysitter in time or
Yeah,
whatever the case is. Like it happens. Just communicate as soon as something
communicate.
weird happens. If you think that you're not going to make it to a show or that you have to perform later, just let us know.
Yeah.
That's it.
And it touches back to
We're not going
like
to hate you if you communicate with us.
and it touches back to like I don't want my time wasted and I don't want to waste your time and I'm doing everything we can to make this year about not wasting time.
Yeah.
So everybody collectively will work together. We'll just communicate more. It'll be great.
I think 2023 is going to be, I keep seeing it in my mind as an upgrade. I think everything, like, I got this fancy new laptop here. So I feel like, in general, both for bars and for my own personal music as DDwili, I think 2023 is going to be a year of upgrade and collaboration, both in bars and in DDwili music. And I'm pretty excited for what the future holds.
Do you ever get music after the show starts?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh
But
yeah,
like
all the fucking time.
after the show starts, without a doubt, for the most part, people are pretty good at sending me drives at least the day of.
Yeah. So
Um,
So
And people know me because I tend to rant about it a lot, and I even in my Instagram like highlights I have like how you should send your sets. But like there's some people that'll communicate with me and tell me I got a hard drive. I'm like, okay, that's cool, whatever.
I started this thing a few months ago, where basically I have everybody's performance catalog.
Yeah,
And all they have to do is if they want to perform new songs, all they have to do is drop their songs into it. So like
cool.
I have like 50, 60 tracks from some artists. So like the responsibility for getting people's tracks is now mine, and
Yeah,
then I know it's going to get done.
yeah,
Um and all people have to do is drop their tracks in the folder. And 2023, I'm trying to make it a super super big point that some of these venues don't have Wi-Fi and shit happens. And if I don't get your music by the time I leave for the show, it's not getting played.
yeah.
I'm really
And
trying.
I like to push that too. Fortunately, like Big Legrowski has like an iPhone jack or something where if
Yeah.
people wanted to, they could. But I'd prefer like if I have a DJ that's going to be spinning music and spinning your stuff, and he's taking the time to learn your music so he can add little scratches and stuff. You should send your music ahead of time so that way they can actually do that.
I'm trying to make it as smooth as possible. So if your iPhone doesn't work, that makes me look stupid.
Yeah,
So I just like having everybody's music.
yeah.
So 2023, I'm trying to make it a point that I've been pushing for it this year, but I'm really 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 going hard next year that like if I don't and I have the catalog. I have a lot of people's performance catalogs, like, so I have a lot of your music. So if you want anything new performed, it's got to be in the folder by the time I leave.
Yeah.
Or you gotta play it off your phone or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Double D Willie, we did a good podcast, bro.
We did. We did. I think we talked about a lot.
Oh, we talked about so much.
Any final thoughts?
I love you.
Man,
I love you, bro.
we're essentially like the Mario and Luigi of like Santas right now. You see
Basically,
that?
bro.
You're the
Chris
Mario and I'm the Luigi.
Chris Pratt and that guy from that show with the Philadelphia. They were
Yeah,
crazy.
the Philadelphia fan.
That looks like a crazy movie.
It's gonna be nutty. Like
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the Mario movie. I think Jack Black as Bowser is really good.
Like the cast is. Let's go. I don't know what it is. I fuck with Mario.
let's go.
Speaking of Mario, Mad Dog was playing Astro's Playland for a while. And
Yeah, isn't
she
the
was,
controller crazy?
dude? She was digging it. She was killing
Yeah,
it.
the controller is the coolest fucking thing.
She got me a PS5 and then played Astro's Playland for a long time.
Oh, well, now that you have a PS5, you have no excuse but to now play video games with me.
Oh, I will play with Double D Willie all day. I have Elden Ring. I have Watch Dogs Legion. I have Dying
Mhm.
Light 2, and I just got Deathloop because it was like
Word.
it's like 90% off or whatever, and it's like a
Yeah.
PS4 exclusive, so I wanted to try it.
Yeah, if you have the extra money to spare, the PS Plus Extra, which is essentially the Xbox Game Pass, gives you like 300 games for free.
Yeah.
They have like all of the Assassin's Creed, all of the Final Fantasies,
So
all
I
that fun
got
stuff.
so I got the
And Returnal. Returnal is a really fun co-op game.
so I got the base so I got the PS5 a few weeks ago, and there was a deal where you could get basic for
Like
$30.
40. Yeah, yeah.
30 for the year, which was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Ridiculous.
Half off. I think you can upgrade to the premium plan and you just pay half of what it's worth.
Yeah.
I don't. What is it, like 100 a year, something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
That's pretty good for a lot of games.
Yeah, for like, and there were a lot of games on there that I was planning on buying at some point anyway, so now I don't have to.
So Mad Dog bought me a PS5. She won't tell me where, but she bought it used. But supposedly the used PS4 was supposed to come with God of War Ragnarok,
Yeah.
and it didn't. Because it only comes with a game code, right? So
Yeah.
like, would it come with that game code? Maybe. Would the game code even be good? Maybe. But the one that she picked up has Horizon Forbidden West on it, which the game's not in there.
It's like the same.
Yeah. But
same
the game's
thing.
not in. But the game's not in there either. So she called them back and she was like, "Oh well, we know it says the game comes with it, but the God of War PS4 actually just comes with it's actually just makes the PS4 gray, and the controller gray because it's the God of War edition. And
Oh,
and
like
and,
it's the
and I'm like
actual. Yeah.
and I'm like the controller and the console are white, so they're
Wow.
getting us God of War, which is pretty cool.
Cool.
Which is
Nice.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Mad Dog paid extra to get a gray PS5, and it didn't come. It's not gray.
That's
So like,
really weird.
so give us gray or give us the game. It's like the microtransaction that makes your car blue. It's like I
Yeah.
spent $5 on blue. I want my
Where's
gray
blue?
right now.
Word. Well, if you're down, we should play some Elden Ring this weekend.
We should.
See what's going on. Do I even have you on PlayStation Hero?
No, but I'll add you.
Okay.
I'll
You
do it
obviously know what my gamer tag is.
Yeah, it's DDwili.
Yeah, it's double. It's Dance Dance Revolution Illy.
My gamer tag is Hero the MC. You can find me. I usually play Rocket League or some single player game that you can't bother me on.
Rocket League. Did you check out your PlayStation Unwrapped this year? Rocket League was my top played game.
There's a PlayStation Unwrapped.
Yeah, you should check your email.
I haven't. So I lost my PS4 controller earlier this year.
Okay.
So I haven't touched a PlayStation since I opened this PS5.
I see.
Last week. So
I
my
use the PlayStation every single day, whether it's like Netflix or Hulu or YouTube or Twitch.
It's
It was my computer essentially until I got this laptop.
I missed it so much. How I'm trying to transfer. I love how we're still talking about this on the podcast. Yeah. I'm trying to transfer my PS4 stuff over to my PS5.
It should have, when you started it up, it should have given you the option, and it would have taken maybe an hour or so to do so.
It did, but it's not recognizing that my PS4's in. But I also don't have a controller for it. So it's not like I can.
You might need to do that because it's something where I literally plugged an Ethernet cable between the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5 to do that, and it went super fast. So
and maybe because I don't have
that might work, but you do need something to actually select the option on the PlayStation 4. You might have to go pick up a shitty controller from GameStop or something. And also, I can't hear you anymore.
Sorry. So the only thing that I really currently wanted to do was I wanted to get the director's cut of Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, I got that.
And I'm halfway through New Game Plus. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to pull over my data so I could just play the DLC from basically where I am with all the stuff I have.
Isn't there co-op stuff? If you have that, you're gonna get director's cut at some point.
There is co-op stuff. It comes with the game anyway.
I definitely want to check that out at some point. So now I know somebody who actually has it.
The co-op stuff is really fucking fun.
Cool.
It's super hard because it's not balanced for one player. It's balanced for four. Which I don't know if they fixed that, but I think is kind of dumb because I don't really like.
That's how I felt with
people.
Watch Dogs Legion, where me and Arev were playing 2-player stuff for stuff that was clearly intended for 4 people, and it was ridiculously hard.
Yeah, like Call of Duty Zombies, that's always scaled to how many people are in the level, but it doesn't scale down when people leave, which I think is still fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Activision, fix it.
Yeah.
Whatever. I also need to get the new Call of Duty. Shout out fucking Pods Over Pods.
Yeah, you should get the new Call of Duty.
We're live.
Shout out Pods Over Pods.
Shout out Pods Over Pods.
Pods Over Duty.
Thank you guys for a good live stream. This is DDwili. I love you. I love everybody equally. Mad Dog is in the bathroom.
This is Hero. Everybody loves him. Shout out to Bars Over Bars. Free shows for life.
Watch Dogs was trash. Dora had better games to play in her backpack.
Bars.
Backpack.
I'm the map.
Look, I think Watch Dogs Legion is good. I'm just tired. I just have Ubisoft fatigue.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
Open world stuff is kind of fatiguing to me as well. I like linear stories.
And it sucks because when a good open world game comes out, like Days Gone, the Oregon zombie game with the bike,
which is also free on PS Plus.
Which is when a good game comes out, it gets overshadowed because there's just a billion fucking other open world games that come out.
Yeah.
But good podcast. This will be live on all your podcast platforms very soon, hopefully, I think. Thank you. Good night, everybody.